gamers, and welcome to episode 356 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for December 19th, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nixon, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Few more days till Xmas, man.
Yeah.
Few more days, and it was a kind of a warm week this week, man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It wasn't too cold. Like, I just felt real comfortable. I was like, man, because I remember I wanted to take the trash out in the morning, and I'm just thinking like, it's gonna be freezing out here, and I was like, hey, this is actually not that bad.
Yeah,
outside.
some days it was like mid-50s in the morning, and then only got warmer from there.
I was like, man, this is great.
It's prime hoodie weather.
Exactly. That's the weather I like. But yeah, see, I like this weather. I don't need to be too cold, but it needs to be comfortable. This is my comfortable. Even though some people say, oh, 50s is cold. For me, it's like, hey, this is beautiful.
Oh, yeah, you go down to Florida and all those people are in like parkas and whatnot in this weather.
Yeah.
Looking at you you're weird.
So anyway, let's just go through. I might as well go to sports. I can't think of anything else to talk about. So my team lost. Baltimore lost too.
Yeah.
Washington lost. But both games, they start out bad. Like there was quite a few games that start out as blowouts, but ended closer at the end to make it more exciting. Unfortunately, I quit on my team pretty early, so I did not see that. If you heard on my podcast, I said I was going to just probably edit the podcast, but I didn't do that. But I think I forgot what I did. I think I was ended up playing the game or something.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the second games to start so I can just move on. But then I saw the end score. I was like, oh, we actually came back. But I was like, I would have just been disappointed because I would have been mad. Like, oh, why I can't do this at the beginning of the game? So, yeah, because Dallas was beating them at some point like 20-0 or 21-0, something like that. But the second half, Washington only held Dallas at only 3 points. And they came back to like within a score. But they just couldn't finish it off. So, I mean, I don't know. And Baltimore did the same thing too. Basically, they were getting blown out. Then they came back within a score. With the Browns, they just couldn't finish it off. But Lamar, they have more of an excuse than us. I mean, our excuse is our excuse is just that Dallas is better than us. I mean, I guess that is a good excuse. They are. They're the better team. They're better than us. So what the hell? Baltimore's excuse can be that Lamar got hurt. So
it could be. The backup was looking all right.
But yeah, but like I said, the backup, I've said this before, that they have a backup that's kind of similar to him. So it works out. But I think he threw an interception near the end. Yeah. That was unfortunate because they had a chance. They got the onside kick.
That onside kick was the most perfect onside kick I've ever fucking seen. Like, he kicked it directly at a dude. It bounced off of him and went right back to him.
I mean, that was Tucker, right? So Tucker's just awesome.
Yeah.
So, and you was thinking like, okay, this game field goal range, right? This game field goal range. You got this. What hold up. I forget. But they would have tied it or they would have lead. I think they would have led, right?
I think they would have won if they had gotten close enough, but they just fucked up that.
It was a hard-fought game. It was good that they came through to that point, but yeah, I mean, it's really no more victories in pro sports. But I mean, what the hell? Your best player is out. You almost had a chance. You had the chance right there. It didn't go through. They're hoping Lamar can come back today because they're playing against Green Bay. This is a huge game. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that game. I really want to see that game. Washington, they won't be playing till Tuesday because it's been COVID protocol for them. Quite a few teams are going through that. I can't remember all the teams that's doing it, but there's going to be 2 games on Monday. Including the regular Monday Night Football game, and then there's going to be 2 games on Tuesday because of 2 teams in COVID protocol, including Washington. And I don't have it in front of me who's the other team was, but so they're moving games around. I want to say the Raiders are playing somebody. The Raiders aren't in COVID protocol, but the team they're playing against.
Is it like the Rams or something?
Let's see. Raiders. Who they're playing? They're playing the Browns. Yeah, they're playing the Browns tomorrow. So that's the Monday night game. That's the extra Monday night game. because the Browns have a COVID problem. And let's see, who is the Tuesday game?
Yeah, as of Friday, the Rams have placed 29 of its players on the COVID-19 reserve list.
So they're playing somebody on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Who are they playing?
Seahawks.
Rams are playing Seahawks. Okay. Yeah. So those are the games.
And the Washington team has 23 players on the COVID list. Goddamn. Because I was trying to understand that press release that the NFL put out, because it's like you can't delay games no matter what, and then at the bottom it's like, also we're delaying these games. I didn't understand it.
Basically, look, anything to get money, man. You know, it's like we change the rules to help us gee, as much money as we can get. Yeah, that happened. I mean, hey, this is the first big deal. I mean, the big thing of delays is like all season we didn't really have anything until now. So, hey, I think it made out pretty good most of the season. So, what else we got here? We got some NBA news. The Wizards, my Wizards. I mean, this is the only team I really watch in NBA because this is my local team. So, they have been on a 4-game losing streak, but they finally stopped it by beating the Jazz last night as of this podcast. And it was a good game, close. They had lost to the Jazz the first time. The Jazz beat them pretty good the first time, but this time they played a whole lot better. They were better at defense in the paint, so that definitely helped them out. And Bradley Beal had a nice game. I think he had 36 points in this game, so he played well. And Neto, our guard on the bench, played well. They didn't play Dinwiddie, our starting guard, and I remember I mentioned that before, that how the chemistry wasn't really good with him on the court. And he started, but he didn't play at the end. Like in the end, he wasn't the guard. So I guess they figured out, like, look, maybe they're going to keep starting, but they're not going to have him on crucial points in the game until he gets better. Maybe the injury is what's causing the problem. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are figuring like they either want Neto to start or they want Holiday to start at point guard, because it seems like we just play a whole lot better with those guys. And I just can't wait till Hamuchimura comes, which I still don't know when, and Bryant comes, which I still don't know when either with those teams. Also, I know a big deal for the Lakers is that AD is hurt again. I mean, they call him Mr. Glass because he seemed like he always gets injured. And they always put that meme up of him and like his face over Mr. Glass's face from the movie. They always have, it's just because he is just so injury prone. It is just ridiculous how injury prone this man is. I mean, I guess I can't really say ridiculous because there are players like that. And it's just unfortunate that he is, because he's a great player.
Yeah.
But maybe it's better for him to get injured now. I mean, he's only gonna be injured for about a month. He hurt he got an MCL injury.
Ooh.
So it's only gonna be about a month. He's gonna be out. So maybe it's good to be hurt now. But I feel like for the Lakers, it's like, look, you need to get to the playoffs. I will probably rest him as much as I can until like the playoffs, just to say like, look, we just need you. You just need to make the playoffs. You make the playoffs, hey, put him in. Like if it gets to a point where you just can't get in the playoffs without him, then of course you put him in. I mean, I think that's where they're at now, because they're still trying to figure out the team. So they're not doing as great as people think they should be. But I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I'm like, this team's going to make the playoffs. The NBA is not going to let them not miss the playoffs this year. Let them miss 1 year. 1 year when LeBron went there the first year. They said, okay, that's it. That's all we're doing. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't want them to get the playoffs. But then again, I do want Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony to get a ring. So I'm like, hey, whatever. They can get this ring. If they win, at least I have something to root for. Like say, hey, yeah, Carmelo Anthony finally got a ring, and Westbrook, especially Westbrook, he gets a lot of hate for what he is. And some of the he deserves it, but I still like him. All right, so what else we got here? We got ain't really much to say for me in college basketball. I haven't been watching a lot of it. And what other college football? I mean, nothing really to talk about there either. I haven't really watched any of these early games. Oh yeah, but I didn't realize it was a bowl game yesterday, LA Bowl, and it's brought to you by Jimmy Kimmel. It's Jimmy Kimmel's LA Bowl. That's what it's actually called, man. I was like, what the hell? Jimmy Kimmel.
The show, or is he personally financed?
I don't know. Man, the logo looks like the show's logo. I think.
Okay.
So, actually, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the logo look like. You gotta look at it.
The Man
I know it's
Show
Jimmy
presents
Kimmel.
the LA Bowl.
Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, the first time I ever seen him was the Man Show.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever seen him. And till now, he has a bowl game. I mean, this is an incredible story. It's an incredible story.
It really is.
This man came from a show like that to a show called The Man Show, which can never be a show today.
Yeah.
But and rough. To a talk show host who's very good. A very good talk show host. I liked it. And I remember watching him on the Fox Sports. I used to love watching him doing the picks on Fox Sports. He was funny as hell. Like him and what's the guy name who do all the voices? Who was on Mad TV?
Oh, shit. I know exactly who you're talking about. I can see his face, but I can't think of his name.
I liked him. And the current guy, I don't watch the pregame shows like I used to when I was younger. So I know who it is. It's you know who it is too. The guy who does it currently now. I forgot his name. He's another comedian, and he always appears in movies.
Was it Frank Caliendo we were thinking of?
Yes, Frank Caliendo was that guy. Yes. And the guy who's doing it now is the guy from he was a cop in Hangover. You remember? And I mean, he's been in a lot of movies, but I just think of that right now. He was a police officer in Hangover, and he tasered them and like showing the kids.
The one that's not Seth Rogen. Or wait, no, The Hangover. Shit, I'm thinking of Superbad.
Oh.
Hangover.
Yes. Yeah, The Hangover. Do you remember?
No, I'm blanking. I'm looking at it.
Well, anyway.
No, it's shit. What is his name? He's the one, from The Daily Show, the like strong arm guy. Rob Riggle.
Yeah, Rob Riggle. Yes, he's currently doing it, and I mean, some of the things I've seen it was funny. It's been funny, but I don't really watch it that often. Mm-hmm. Like I don't watch pregame shows like that. That was mostly like when I was younger. I used to like watching them because I was into sports a lot more heavy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I forgot what was I even talking about. Oh, Jimmy Kimmel. Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, going from there and down to having a bowl. I never imagined this. I could never imagine him having a bowl game.
I bet he could never imagine him having a bowl game.
I know. It's fucking crazy. All right, and I mean, it's just ridiculous how these bowl games are. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. These bowl games is just ridiculous. All right, so I think that's pretty much it in sports. Before me talking. So, any wrestling news? Anything big?
I guess kind of the biggest thing is the fact that there wasn't anything really big. You know, I was talking last week about possible debuts for AEW with their Winter is Coming show, and there didn't end up being any surprise, announcements or debuts or anything. Also on Rampage, which people were speculating maybe, some of that stuff got pushed off till then. But there was a fantastic match between Hangman Adam Page, who is the current AEW champion, and Bryan Danielson. They went an hour long, a Broadway as it's called in the wrestling industry, to basically a stalemate. But that was an incredible hour of wrestling. And otherwise the show was kind of underwhelming, especially not really having any debuts or anything like that. And this is the same show where last year Omega won the title and they debuted Sting. So, it kind of had a legacy of huge things happen. But yeah, and WWE is just, I don't even know. It's still happening, I guess. But they're leading up to their day one pay-per-view, and I don't really know what is happening there otherwise because I haven't really been following them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we get to what we've been watching. So I'll start.
Okay.
Off. And okay, so I say we got. All right, I watched some new anime. Well, new to me. Since I got this Funimation for like 2-3 weeks. Well, now it's like days now. I gotta remember to cancel it. So
reminds me, I gotta cancel Discovery Plus.
Yeah, and so I wanted to. I just want to check some other stuff out because I was like, Okay, let's see what's other shows up here. Anything that might interest me. It's a show called Skate the Affinity, and it's an anime about these group of skaters. But it starts with just two people. It's really those are the main characters. Really, it's these two guys, and it's like the world where skating is like almost like illegal car racing, street car racing. They have these at like 12 p.m. They have these races, like these dangerous races between two skaters, and it's like a huge deal and things of that nature. And it's pretty good. It's a comedy, but it's fun. It's fun. It's funny. I actually sort of enjoy it. It's pretty cool. I mean, I think the main story starts off with let's see. I know one of the guys. He moved there. I think he moved from Canada, I believe, and he was a snowboarder. So then I guess he saw like the skateboarding, and he said he wanted to try it out. But even though he could do some things different, like with the skateboard because he knew snowboarding, but some things he can't do because that's all he did was snowboard. So right. Skating is different. So he met a guy who became his friend who really taught him how to do it. Like he made his own custom board so he could be easier for him to skateboard with, and all this stuff. And I mean, it's a cool show. I like it almost comes like every few episodes there'll be a big race, and he races against like some top dude. Like that's almost like, I guess you can imagine like the fight scenes in other animes, like, hey, this is big boss or something like that, and then it's like this top dude. And then cool. Like the first few episodes, these guys he beat, they really become close or something, like they become a group. Because the first guy he played against was this older dude. He was like, I think he's like 24, but they call him an old man because they kid. He's like, I'm only 24 or something like that. And then he raced against this prodigy kid. And now I think about an episode where he's racing this guy who's really good and very effeminate guy. Like he's always about love and stuff, but he's dangerous. Like when he races against people get hurt. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, okay, he beat this guy. And I think the race got interrupted. He was going against him, but the cops came because, hey, I guess it's illegal to be out here this night with a bunch of kids or underage people. So but it's a fun show. I mean, I actually enjoy it. It's cool because it doesn't take itself seriously. It's one of those type of shows. So I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. It's pretty new. I think it came out this year, I want to say, and it actually got dubbed months later. So yeah, so it's a few episodes out now. But yeah, it seems cool. Yeah. Another show I watched was Assassination Classroom, which came out I think in 2015 or 2016 or something like that.
That's definitely one I've heard of.
Yeah, I heard of this one, and I just said, like, yeah, let me check what the hell this is. It's about this alien who basically says he's going to destroy the Earth. But he becomes a teacher, and he teaches regular classes. At first I thought it was like a school assassination, but it's really that these people are trying to assassinate him because they don't want him to destroy the Earth. They got to be able to stop him before like a year or something like that. So the kids are trying to kill him. Some teachers are trying to kill him. And then I guess every episode, like you might see somebody new come to the school, try to kill him. But he's really strong. It's like an alien octopus guy, like with a smiley face. It's fucking weird. And it's a comedy. It's a comedy. And it was pretty funny, the couple episodes I've seen. I mean, it's okay. It's weird. I mean, I think that's really what gets me is like, how you fucking think of something like this? Like this kind of thing. Then I watched the Amazon Prime series, Expanse, because we were just talking about that last week about it becoming a what was it, Telltale doing it?
Yeah, they're the ones making
it. Yeah, they're making an Expanse. So I was like, I'm gonna go back to watch the show. So I watched a few of the episodes I've already seen already. I think like 3 of them, and now I kind of got the gist of the story. I mean, it deals with, this is a time period in sometime in the future where you have Earth, which is ruled by the UN, and then, I mean, that's like the government body. Then you have Mars, they're separate. And Mars and Earth has tension between each other. And then you have people called the Belchers who are near the belt, I guess where the asteroid belt is. and they do mining. They get a lot of supplies for people and things of that nature. They like mining and stuff like that, and they have their own like community up there too. Like it's a city up there. I guess it's just some type of space station, but there's been some tension with them too because they feel like they're not being treated fairly by I think both groups. So like I guess they feel like they get enough money, and like there's even problems there with how much resources they're getting. It's like a really somewhat political and very mysterious too because things start happening and you don't know who to blame. Like some ship blew up which had a lot of supplies that was good for the Belchers. Like they was getting their supplies. Ship blew up and nobody knows who's to blame. Like they think it's Mars, but Mars saying it's not them. So it could be some people saying, hey, it's the Belchers who are doing it just to start a war between Mars and Earth because they'll benefit them. And some people might think Earth did it. Maybe there's, I don't know. Or some other splinter group. You don't know who, well, as of right now, I don't know who did it. But the people who did do it, have pretty advanced technology. Like, I don't know where this stuff comes from. So, still a mystery at this point of how things are happening. But it's all right. So far, it's all right because I'm very into it, like to see what is going on here. And it's really, it's futuristic in a way. Like they kind of keep it, like it's not Star Trek type of future. I think it's like more like maybe, is it the late 20th? I forgot what year it is. Is it the late 21st century or maybe 22nd century? I'm not sure. But it's like the environment and stuff is more, I'm going to call it steampunky. I mean, like Earth, the places that Earth I see is nice, but they do talk about the pollution and stuff like that. Mars, they just live in a dome because, there's no air and things of that nature. While the Belchers, since they live where they live at, the humans grow a little differently. Like they're little taller. Some of them gets a little taller or slimmer. Not all of them. But it's like a little, like you could tell from the back of their neck. Some of them, like their spine grows a weird way. Like if they can't go to Earth, like they have to stay in probably some type of pressure chute or something. I don't know, but they can't go back to Earth because the gravity is so different. Their bodies can't get used to it. I saw somebody being tortured. Like they would torture somebody thinking because he was part of a terrorist group, and they would just they had him on Earth, so he was all suffering like outside this tank that they usually keep him in. Excuse me, if they come to Earth. So it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
How it goes. What'd you say?
I was just agreeing. That does sound interesting.
Yeah. But it's not quite Star Trek. Because like Star Trek, I can have it on and still do something. But this is more like I got to pay attention to what's going on.
Gotcha.
Well, like old Star Trek. Like the newer Star Trek is probably more like this.
Yeah.
That I have to pay attention to. I just want to like a sci-fi show where I could just have on. Like I don't have to. I can still figure out what's going on if I even miss something.
Yeah.
Like Star Trek, I can easily, like old Star Trek, I can do that. Like Star Trek Generations and all of them, I can do that. But these, I guess this is the way the show people like they want was like, oh yeah, it's deep or something like that. And which is good. It's good, but I was kind of looking for something else. But it's all right. It's a cool show. Because I felt like the one that Seth MacFarlane did, Orville. Yeah. That the Orville, that was kind of like a Star Trek, but that got canceled. So unfortunately, even though they were saying they were doing it on YouTube, but I guess like maybe it got canceled because I haven't seen it yet. I haven't even looked it up honestly. So I was like, oh, I guess it's not happening. It's been pretty long now since they said that. So I'm thinking something that they're not going to do it. All right. So that's all I watch. Except for the South Park, which you watch too. But this is the show. You can talk about the shows you watch.
Yeah. So I watched I watched the latest episode of Curb. That was okay. I would probably put it on par with the episode the week before. Maybe a little funnier than that one. There was a subplot with them doing I forget what they were calling it. I watched it earlier in the week, but it was like basically a home husband where his friend, the guy that lives with him, I can't think of his name. He he would go to people and basically pretend to be their husband. So like if you have a plumber come in, he'd be like, oh no, they don't need all that work. You can fix that with a 5-cent valve or something like that. Or like if they're trying to overcharge you for your car, it's like, oh, you don't need to do that. And of course that goes crazy as you would expect. And then Larry's like getting involved with the Congress, like the local congresswoman or whatever that he was messing around with. So that goes some places. It's definitely still funny, but I think it's not quite as good as it was at the beginning of the season. But there are definitely some circumstances, and his friend, what's his friend's name? Jeff? Is he the one?
Yeah. I know his name. First name's Jeff.
Yeah, he's gonna get himself in trouble. So.
Jeff Goldberg. I was just thinking of his Jewish name.
Well, he's also the dad on the Goldbergs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gotten himself in a little bit of trouble. Also watched the latest episode of Hawkeye. That obviously we're getting down to the wire here. Next week's episode, well, this upcoming week's episode is the final episode. There's definitely some events in this last episode that are pretty big for the entirety of the Marvel universe as to what it could mean for what's going on there. Not like planet, annihilating issues, but just the way it interacts with some other things. So it's exciting. I'm excited for this upcoming week's episode. Also, it's very nice. It's very sweet in kind of following the trend from the last week's episode, where the two Hawkeyes were kind of having a moment together doing like a Christmas movie night thing. This one it's a very sweet show. It's made me like the Hawkeye Clint Barton character a lot more than previously. And he hasn't had a lot to chew on in previous movies, with good reason. Like he's a guy that is really good at shooting a bow and arrow next to people who are gods and make machines that, are fucking robot suits and stuff. So obviously he's kind of the least interesting of the characters, but yeah, they're finally giving him something to kind of chew on, and that's nice to see.
Is this the last episode?
This upcoming one is the one.
Oh,
yeah, the one I'm talking about is the second to last episode. Yeah. So that ends this coming week. So I would definitely say check it out if you're at all interested. It doesn't really start slow like the previous episode or previous shows have. They definitely, by the second episode, it's up and running basically. So definitely worth checking out, I would say, so far. And then, of course, like you said, we both watched South Park, the post-COVID return of COVID special, I guess is what it is.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the finality or the final part of, or the second part of the one we talked about a couple of weeks ago, where it's, the team basically is grown-ups kind of seeing how COVID has affected their lives. And, it's funny, post-COVID, and it's, like 30 years later or something like that. So that's obviously the first joke there is that, hey, it's going to take this long for it to stop. And then, of course, it doesn't, because as the title says, return of COVID, real bad things happen, Dominic. But I enjoyed this. What'd you think?
Oh, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think this is probably, these two shows were the best of all the COVID shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think like these two shows, then the first one, then the second one. Like that's how I would rate them. Yeah, these been great. And I also we'll get into spoilers now. Like I love the NFT stuff was probably the funniest
absolutely
stuff in the show.
Yeah.
Making fun of NFTs about how like they're basically worthless. Basically, I mean their worth is it's a scam. Let's put it like that. I think it's a scam. It's a scam. But I like how they just like, but Butters, that was his job. He was getting people to buy NFTs, and they had him in a insane asylum just because of it, because of how they're a scam and everything, and how
charismatic he is somehow. Like,
Yeah. He is just so charismatic.
He's like, don't let him near you.
Also,
He'll talk you into buying an NFT.
And I like his story is that his parents had punished him, and then they left, and they never came back. So he stood in this. He was punished for like years.
Yeah,
like he stood in his
but
room.
he had an iPad, Dominic.
Yeah, but he learned about NFTs, and then outside, and that's where he started selling them. And it's it's just hilarious. With that, but this was funny. I mean, they made fun of that. They make fun of Amazon Alexis, like making it like a nagging housewife.
Yeah,
and I like how she bought Kyle one too. like he said I recommend him, and then like how she got all angry, the one for Kyle, like all turned like a robot. And he said, "Just say you'll listen to her," or something like that.
Tell her you've already signed up for therapy. You're going tomorrow.
Oh man, and like how everything is called Max and Plus, like just like the streaming services.
Yeah, Denny's, Applebee's, Max.
Yeah, it's just it's this show. It was good. It's very creative. I like how they used everything that's happening like recently. Like people wearing chin diapers.
Yeah,
still,
that's what I found funny was with when they do the flashback to what's Stan's sister's name?
Oh, what is her name? No,
Shelley.
Sharon is the wife. Shelley, yeah.
And when they flash back to her funeral, everybody's got a mask on, but Kyle's dad has it down around his chin. Like, he's the only one. I was like, man. And then I thought it was funny when they show Shelley grown up that she still has, like, that talking, even though she doesn't have braces on anymore.
Yeah. That
doesn't make any sense. That poor girl.
But that's cool. So I'm curious, when does it come back? And this is it, like until next year, because they were always doing shows in like October before COVID happened, like October to the end of the year, like 10 episodes or something like that. So I wonder what's the plan for them now. But yeah,
are they going to be Paramount's exclusive, or are they going to be back on Comedy Central? I wonder. Yeah.
I guess it sucks because I like to deal with HBO Max because I got HBO Max. And there's no commercials. All right. I forgot to mention this show. Rick and Morty, actually went back to start watching that. I think I watched the 3rd and 4th episode.
Okay, cool.
Because I watched the first 2 earlier on, like some months ago, but I just never went back to the show. And it's funny. It's hilarious. This one episode dealt with Morty. Well, okay, so the mother is a horse doctor. Yeah. So Morty was there, and then he saw like this type of machine. He's like, "What is this?" Oh, that's to extract the horse semen. And it looked like basically like a sex toy thing. Yeah. And then he said, "Hey, do you have like volunteer? I can volunteer here." And then, of course, it's fast forward to like he did something, but then you see Rick come with this big barrel. He's like, "What is that?" He said, "Oh, it's just I just need this to fight against some type of horse people who live underground or something." I forgot who he was using it for. He said, "Oh, this is a tub of the horse semen I got from the your mother's job. Don't tell her I got it." And then Morty's like, "Oh, why did you use it?" He said, "I'm about to." He said, "What are you about to do now?" So I'm just testing this to make sure it's all horse semen. And they said, "No, you don't have to. It's obviously horse semen. It got a horse on the front of it." He said, "Yeah, but does that make sense? It's supposed to test it. I mean, that's just what you're supposed to do." They said, "But why? You don't need to." He say, "Oh, I find it, Morty. I won't test it." Oh, Jesus. So he just used it. And then, of course, something happens. And then now you got giant sperms everywhere just attacking people and shit. He said, "Morty, see, I was wrong, Morty. I did something. I fucked up, Morty." He said, like, "I don't know what happened." And then the way Rick was talking is always like, Morty, "I feel like you want me to say something. Like I did something." Say, "No, I'm not, Morty." You say, "Why? Do you know something?" You say, No, it's totally your fault." So it was funny. The whole episode was hilarious. And the other episode dealt with Rick going out with Jerry, and he like he was doing like a men's night or something like that, like a buddy night with him. And of course the wife is suspicious, like, you don't never hang out. So yeah, we just hanging out now. The reason he's hanging out with is because he had these aliens who, well, not aliens. I guess they actually live in hell or something. I don't know. These beings that they live off of suffering, and he owes them. So him hanging out with Jerry is suffering on him. So they kind of just like they get the feeling of suffering from him, and it feels good to them. So it's like they go out with Jerry to karaoke and stuff. So every time Jerry says anything, Rick is suffering, and then they just like, oh, this feels so great. It's like that. And Jerry, of course, Jerry is none the wiser. He's thinking they just enjoying their time with him. And then, of course, the wife eventually comes and realizes what the hell's going on, what the hell's happening. But then she goes on with it. But then, of course, Jerry finds out, and of course, he gets pissed, and then things goes wrong. But also, the kids are using his stuff, like Rick's father's. I mean, Rick being the Rick's grandfather's. No, Rick is the gang guy. Morty's grandfather. They're using his ship because he's trying to impress this new dude at school, and Summer's trying to impress him too. So they said, like, yeah, I can drive the ship, and then things go wrong with that too, because the ship is, the ship is somewhat sentient. I mean, it's like AI, and then it blackmails them. Say, hey, I'm going to tell Rick that you used this unless you do something for me. So they got to do all this crazy shit. It was, both episodes were hilarious. Like, this show is still funny as hell. So yeah, it's amazing how good this show is. This is probably the best show they have on Adult Swim. Like now, I mean, it's like the Adult Swim has one of those shows. Like they have one great show. Like the Boondocks. What's the one with the family? And the two boys and the father, scientists.
Oh, Venture Brothers.
Samson. Venture Brothers. So yeah. They always have like Venture Brothers was great. The Boondocks was great. Rick and Morty is great. I'm trying to think of another show they have. That Family Guy and them don't count because they're just repeats.
Yeah.
Trying to think of something original. But like they have one, then they have a whole bunch of really weird ones. That's what they usually have. All right. So what else we got? I think that's it. So I guess we get to what we've been playing. So you didn't play anything this week?
No, nothing really this week.
Oh, okay. So I played some MK11. You picked it up for me. Thank you. I got it again. So for the second time.
Yeah.
And
I've gotten that game so many times.
Second/third because you got it and I was playing yours.
Yep.
But then it was a sale. Then I got it on Steam.
Yep.
And that was another sale because it's on Game Pass. And I was like, oh man, I want to play it on. I want to stream it because it's a whole lot better streaming.
Streaming's the future, Dominic.
And you picked it up for me, thank you. The ultimate version. So that, yeah, it's great streaming it because it's based off the Xbox Series X and it's fast as hell. Like going to match. So like, I mean, I'm not playing against anybody. I'm just playing, the regular towers. But I mean, in between like the load times aren't long, so I just can get through them. I can actually play like the medium-sized tower now, without being like I want to stop, but I don't. I wish they, at least I wish they'd let you save in between towers. Like, why the fuck not? But anyway, now it doesn't matter though because now I can get through a tower pretty fast without having to wait for load times and anything like that. Yeah, I mean it's Mortal Kombat. I mean I talked about this before, but I did play with Rambo, which I never played before, and Spawn. I never played as him before too. Like I think the video I recorded before, I did have Rambo and Spawn, but I wasn't playing as them. That was the AI fighting,
right? Because
like I put the AI fighter on. So this time I actually got to see how they feel. Rambo was good. He's pretty good. I like his character, and Spawn is good too. Like Rambo's pretty fast, and Spawn too. I like characters that's kind of fast. Like they're not too stiff. Because like I think Terminator is a little more stiff. And I guess that makes sense for his type of character. Spawn, I also was curious what Spawn would say to Scorpion, because they're both really similar with their backstories. Because I think Spawn, he sacrificed himself for his wife, right? Like his wife was going to die.
I think so, yeah, something like that.
I think that was the thing. And then he's basically worked for hell. And Scorpion is kind of doing things for, well, it's not really, it's hell, somewhat hell. I mean, the necromancer guy. And his family's died, but I think he want revenge. So he kind of went through hell. So when they did talk to each other, they did mention like they're very, something along the lines of how similar they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did play Spawn's story through the towers, and it spoiler, it ends with him like getting some of the Mortal Kombat characters to help him fight the demons of hell. So you got Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and I forgot who else he got. But they're like he's going to different realms fighting different demons, and that's what he's doing. It was kind of cool. I just played with Rambo a little bit, so I didn't play his whole tower yet. But I'm trying to think of his I forgot what his fatality was. I know his brutality has something to do with a bow and arrow, though, I believe. But yeah, it's pretty. I mean, this game is just fun as hell. I mean, Mortal Kombat, I think this is the best fighter out there. What else did I play? I played some more Trails. Oh, Trails of Cold Steel. So, like I said before, I'm actually in the city that I was in on the PSP Trails game. And it's cool because this is in 3D now. So I'm seeing, because the PSP game was kind of like a Super Nintendo RPG.
Right.
So it was sprites. Now I'm seeing it in 3D, kind of polygonal, more, I guess, close to a PS2 / whatever would be in between a PS2 and an Xbox 360. I guess you would say the graphics are.
So like a Vita.
So, yeah. Well, which game was on, I believe, at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe. Probably in Japan. I don't know if it came on Vita here. I think it came on Vita here too. Yeah, I think at least one of them did. Some of them did. I don't know if all of them did. So anyway, so I'm seeing this city, and the thing is, they recreated very well. So it's like, I know where everything is, just seeing it in 3D. Like, they really recreate the city. Now, they didn't do all the city, because some places I can't go to, but the places they do have, I'm like, oh, I know that building. And I was like, I know this shop. It's like, oh, that's awesome, I did that. And then I'm seeing some characters that I already know, and they kind of reference to. So, like, a lot of people probably didn't play those games. So the references, I mean, not that it hurts the game. Like, if you just play it new, it's still fine. You just be like, oh, they talk, there's probably somebody who live in town. While if you play that game, it's so much more. It's like, oh, I get that reference. I know what they're talking about. Like, you see people who are older, and they talk about, like, what they used to do. Like, these guys, I remember both those games on the PSP were talking about starting their own business. And, like, I remember the first game, they were talking about starting their own business. These are just, like, side characters. And then the second game, they were actually working somewhere to save up to start the business. Say, hey, we got to start to get some money. In this game I'm playing, they got the business. Like, I see the shop, and I can go shop there. I was like, oh my goodness, I like how they progress with that.
Yeah, that's fun.
And yeah, and then you see some kids, people who were kids, like they're like probably like preteens now, and things of that nature. And they also really like the heroes that you played as in the PSP games. Now, some of them are fugitives now because, you know, your kingdom took over their Crossbell. So they annexed them. And those guys are fugitives to them. So they haven't caught them yet, though. Now, some of them, they got them working for them. Like, two of them I met. But the main character and this other girl and some other characters, they are hiding somewhere. I don't know. I might meet them later on in the game. I haven't met them yet. But people, they revere them so much. Like, they call them the heroes. It is so funny because, like, in the original game, when I played as those guys on the PSP, they were just up and coming, and people, they had no respect until like till later on in the game, they start gaining respect and people start really liking them. So now it's to the point like they're like legends, which I guess I thought about the main title is Legend of Heroes. And so they are looked upon by the community of Crossbow like, hey, these are our heroes. But my kingdom is trying to really get them like out of people's minds. Like, they're trying to like, what did they do? They had this big meeting happening now, which I'm currently on, like this inspection team to inspect the progress of Crossbell with Erebonia and some changes they're doing. And thing is, all the officials were all just Erebonia, which is the kingdom I represent, right. And none of the people who came from Crossbell. Like, there's a guy named McDowell who was the mayor of Crossbell at some point, and now I think he became I forgot what he became. Became something else because he stopped being a mayor. Somebody else took place of him being a mayor, but he was still a top official, and people expected him to be there at this meeting, but he wasn't. And then you find out that was all planned because they want the people to fully like progress to just Erebonian style. Like they trying to get rid of, they're trying to get the people off the out of their minds about the heroes and anything that was previous to Cosbro, because they're trying to make it so that they can fully like embrace us, and it's somewhat working, but not really, because people are still questioning things happening. And I don't like it. Like the character I play as, I don't like what's happening. Like, it's just that I'm just going with the flow because it's my kingdom. Like, but I don't agree with what's going on. And then you have people who was from Crossbell, like the girl who I teach. She's from Crossbell, and she's just hating all this is happening. And I just like the political stuff with this. Like they deal with like with military spending and things of that nature, and they deal with how like they're setting up guns on the border of this other country, and people are questioning that, and it's like what's going on here. Like you're almost asking for the other country, Calivart, to like probably respond to this. It's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that I don't understand, but I'm beginning to understand some of the things, and it's just like something's gonna hit the fan, like something's big is gonna happen, and it's just leading up to something, and you just don't know. I just don't know what's gonna happen first, really, because there's a lot of other, like I said, there's a lot of players on this field, and this is a great story, like especially if you played all the games, like previously, which I have now, and so just how it progressed, like everything is connected. That's the thing. I like how everything's connected, even from Trails in the Sky, how everything's connected from that game to this game, and it's just like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's almost like it's the Marvel universe of the JRPG world. Yeah, that's what it is. And it's cool just seeing these other characters that I played as, just like you're interacting with them, and also just seeing the characters from the last of this series, the Cold Steel series, because now I saw some new classmates, and they're older now, and they're of course they're big achievers. They're doing something like one guy, he's like he's a government inspector, which is kind of it's some tension between him and his father now, because his father is a government official, and he's supposed to be a guy basically like almost like internal affairs for the government, like to make sure everything's topsy-turvy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And they be doing a lot of things just to keep him off so he won't learn certain things, because he says like, yeah, they keep making us do these jobs that's like keeping us away from us learning what's going on. We won't happen till late, but I still, like he said, but he's still working towards like trying to keep things on the up and up, or learning what things are so he can tell me and things of that nature. And then the girl, well, she's a woman now, who she's basically the main love interest. Well, she's supposed to be. I think like if there was like a story, because you could have different love interests in this game, but if there was like a what's the word I'm looking for? Canonical, I guess, like the real, like legit story, she would be the love interest, and that's why I choose, because I say that makes the most sense, whatever. But thing is, like I said, since you can't bring a save over, they kind of start you over again. I mean, it really still implies though that you are a love interest, because the way she hugs you and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, if you were a guy who chose somebody else, you'd be like, man, get the hell off me. What are you doing? You're like, I don't like, I don't like you like that. But like I said, they do sort of make it so like you can kind of say maybe it's just it could be a friendly hug, like they're just close friends, I guess. But I guess it's a good way of doing it. I wish they would have made a way you can choose at the beginning, like I said, like so things can make sense. Because this is gonna be like, why are we starting over again? If we were together the last game, what happened? Like, or at least explain what happened. But hey, whatever. Yeah, but that's it. It's just cool going to this city now, like seeing the city the way it is in 3D, like these buildings and everything. Like I can go into from the original game. It's kind of cool. It's sort of cool with that. What else have I played? I also played some more Halo. I just did a couple of the side missions in Halo, where you like take over a base and things of that nature. I finally got it so I can get a regular Warthog with the gun on the back, attached to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Now the soldiers seem to be dying quickly now. Now I'm like, man, I thought now I'm like, when I get soldiers. I mean, they're not dying too quickly like they were before, but I'm noticing like I'm thinking I still got soldiers with me. Then I turn around, I see dead ones behind me. So, oh man, y'all didn't live. So they can die. I guess they should die, but I just want them to live a little longer or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, hey, I just want y'all to just keep following me. And then I got to keep going back to the base to get some more people to come with me. I don't know when they're going to make it so that it can be co-op. And I wonder if it's going to be, can I able just to jump into anybody's game? But I have a feeling it's going to be like the old way of co-op where you only can be with friends. Like somebody has to invite you. Yeah. I just have a feeling, which sucks. I haven't played any multiplayer yet of this game, though. At least I haven't gone back to multiplayer, I should say. Mm-hmm. Last but not least, I played some more Cyberpunk, and now I think I found that click where I'm into it.
Nice.
I got to a point in the story where I'm really into this stuff. It's pretty good. I mean, I do like the verticality of the game. Like it's pretty dense, like in the places I can go, which I'm like, oh, darn, you can do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I feel like in the fights, I can just go in guns blazing. Well, to some, unless the people are leveled up pretty high, which I'll die really fast. Which they would say like, hey, this is moderate, this is high, or something like that. So they'll tell you if it's going to be pretty hard. But I feel like I want to do more. Just like, what is the game? Deus Ex, like using all your abilities, like hacking and stuff like that. Sometimes I just do it just because I feel like, I got this shit. I want to try it. It's sort of cool to do this stuff. I wish I could cheat because I just want to I'm going to have so many abilities. I want to have all the abilities just to try them all out.
Mm-hmm.
But just kind of level up, I'm like, it just takes so much time. And I was like, I just want to have everything now. And some things I can't do because I'm not high enough in an ability. Like I'm not strong enough to open this door physically, or I don't have the tech level to open this yet. And I guess, I don't know, it might be a New Game Plus, but I don't play New Game Pluses anymore. Like I don't do that. This is a rare thing for me to do.
Yeah.
I just wish I can just unlock everything. Well, without paying for it, which I don't think they have that like a Ubisoft kind of thing where you can just unlock everything with some money. But the game is okay. Like I enjoy it. Like the actual gunfights. I mean, they're all right. It's not as good as other first person shooters, but I'm fine with it. I don't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't used melee a lot though. I just started now because somebody gave me a sword. That was one of the rewards I got for a mission. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you could do melee in this game. I was like, because I just been using guns. So I used the sword. It's all right to use it. But the thing is, I haven't got to a point where a lot of them use physical stuff. So a lot of them using guns. So I'm just running towards them, getting shot, trying to hurry up and slice them. I was like, it doesn't make sense for me to use melee a lot of times. So, because they're not doing it, and then they just shoot the shit out of me. What else about the game have I done? I guess that's it. What I don't like is the fast travel system, because you have to go to a fast travel point to fast travel to another point. So you can't just go on a map like in Fallout or something and say, hey, I want to go here, and you fast travel to that town. You can't do that. You have to literally physically go to a fast travel point, to fast travel to the point you want to go to, like to get close to the point you want to get to. Like if you want to go to this building, you have to pick the fast travel point closest to it. Well, you have to pick a fast travel point, then pick the fast travel point closest to it. Then you have to walk over or drive over to wherever it is. Usually the main missions, there's a fast travel point close to it, so it's not that bad just to fast travel to that point and get there. But you can't just pick a point anywhere like you are. I wish you can just do that. I mean, because it's just some things become time consuming, more time consuming than I wanted to be. I was like, oh god, I got to drive all the way over here. Because one time was a point where I was just where the dump is. It's huge, like a wasteland of just trash. I'm just busy just popping over everything because I can't fast travel anywhere. And I was like, oh, fuck. So that sucked. And there was a point where I couldn't get a car because my car was in the shop. And I was like, oh, you're really going to make me just wait for this shit? So it got to a point in the story where they finally unlocked, hey, your car's fixed now. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I've been having to steal cars. And then sometimes the cops be coming after me because I stole a car with an alarm. And I was like, man, this is bullshit. I was like, and then I had enough money to buy a car. Like, that's another reason I want cheats. Because I would have been aboard a damn car, and I would have just been getting through this game. So it was a point where I had to steal a car, just find a car, hopefully the alarm don't come on, and I'll just drive it. But it doesn't save, so I can't just call it again.
Yeah.
At least now I got my car back. And there was one point where I needed money to do a mission, so I had to do quite a few side missions to get it. Because I needed $15,000, and I was nowhere near that. I was like, oh my god, I should. And because I just bought stuff, and I was like, I didn't know I was going to have to pay this lady off for this mission.
Yeah.
And apparently, there was no way where I can like convince her to like, hey, pay later, or come on, or don't pay at all. Like sometimes you might get those, abilities where like, hey, you can talk like you talk a certain way, or you say something because you brought up your whatever stat, just like in RPGs, like say, hey, you can talk your way out of this or something like that. But it didn't have that, so I was like, well, then guess I gotta go do these side missions. But the side missions actually, they're all right. Some of them are pretty good. Well, story wise, they're all right. They're not great. They're not like The Witcher. They haven't got to a point where like, oh, this side mission was so great, even better than some of the main missions.
Yeah.
So far, the main missions have been the best, still just the best missions. The side mission's been all right to just kill somebody, and that's it. But the game is okay. I mean, it's all right game. It's not horrible. It's not bad. It's all right. I mean, it's not Witcher 3 level for me, but it's all right game. I'm invested. So I guess that is it. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashbacking to 2011, 10 years ago this week. We got some games coming out. Mostly iOS type of games. Games I don't never play, but they're games I have played on other systems, apparently. But we start out with this game on Windows, Flat Out 3 Chaos and Destruction, which is that car destruction game. So I think I even mentioned this before in something else. Also, we got Outdoors Unleashed Africa 3D. I don't know what the fuck this game is, because when I click on it, it brings up a company, Taeon, which I'm guessing that's the guys who made the game.
I would imagine.
I don't. And I have no idea. I guess you looked it up. All right. So moving on, Windows does get Earth Defense Force Insects Armageddon. So yes, people on PC can play it with mods. I wonder what kind of mods they. I wonder what kind of do what people did any mods in this game.
That's the Outdoor Unleashed is a hunting game.
Okay, so you can hunt in 3D, baby. Africa. Or you can be like that. The dentist. The dentist who hunt that that lion. See, that's the way you're supposed to hunt. Not in real life. Just do it on the 3DS. All right, so
feels like I'm there.
Yeah. All right, Grand Theft Auto 3 10-year anniversary editions on iOS. Do they have a 20th anniversary? Did they come on iOS? These new updated ones?
I feel like it's supposed to at some point, but I don't think it is now. And probably won't be considering how poorly it launched on the consoles.
I mean, that was the version, right?
Yes, that was the version. Exactly. They're getting this version on the consoles. That's why people are so angry. Yeah,
exactly. Sonic CD iOS version came out. This The Sims free play iOS version came out.
The ironic thing about that, Dominic, is kids that are playing Sonic CD on iOS don't even know what a CD is.
Yeah, yes. They're probably like, what's this abbreviation for? What's this?
Chaos Diamonds? I don't know.
Yeah. Fire Emblem, The Sacred Stones came out on, I don't know what the hell I did. What is this? 3DS
Virtual
VC?
console.
Virtual console.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's a virtual console game.
Yeah, because that was a Game Boy Advance game. So it came
the Game Boy
out.
Advance game.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Was this part of the Ambassadors program?
I don't know. Because I'm trying to think if Metroid Fusion was or not.
Because I remember, yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I remember Metroid Fusion doing it. I thought it was like an old Metroid, a real old one that was part of it.
No, yeah, it was. Metroid was at least a part of the Ambassador program. So I'd say there's a good chance the Fire Emblem probably was too.
All right. So Metroid Fusion came out for 3DS, the 3DS Virtual Console version. Then we have this game. What the hell is this? Satazeus? What the fuck this is? No, there isn't even a Wikipedia page.
Dr.
I don't know why.
Dr. Zeus.
I don't know what the hell it is. Forget it. Forget I even said it. All right. Wario Land 4 came out. I think that was part of the Ambassadors program.
Yeah. Yep.
And for the 3DS. And then we have Jurassic Park, the game, episode 2, The Calvary.
That's got to be the
and
Telltale one, right?
Yes, I think it was. I guess they were getting episodes while the console version got the whole game.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe these came out before
they started doing the episodic. Was that Walking Dead when they really started to lean into the episodic stuff?
No, I mean, it was episodic.
Oh, okay.
Jurassic Park was episodic, but some reason they just, for the consoles, they just released the whole game. Like released all episodes.
It's because they knew it was bad, Dominic.
Now, I want to say that this is weird. The iOS get it by episodes, but the consoles came out around the same time, and they got the whole game. So you had to pay for it more, probably in the iOS. Like, how much it costs?
Maybe you could only fit so much on your phone at a time.
Yeah. Metal Dead came out for Windows, and I'm looking at this game. The cartoon look is a little weird. I don't know. It was a point and click game. What the hell is? Yeah, it is a point and click adventure.
Oh, cool.
I ain't never heard of this game before. But it got okay reviews from these sites that I never heard of.
It's very positive on Steam right now.
Oh, it is. Like Adventure Gamers gave it 4 stars. PC Power Play gave it 7 out of 10.
Huh.
Alternative Magazine Online gave it an 8.5. The Reticule gave it a 4 out of 5.
Wow, Rock Paper Shotgun says it beats out early LucasArts efforts in pure laughs per minute.
Oh, cool. Game Cola gave it a 7 out of 10. The Indie Shelter gave it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's an independent Australian developer. Maybe it's all Australian sites. Let me see. And last but not least, Gears of War 3 Ram Shadow.
Ooh.
The DLC for Gears of War 3 came out this week, 2 years ago. Yeah, this is the one where you do play as Ram for a bit, but it's like sometime in the past, like before Gears of War 1, you play as these other soldiers and the Asian guy. I believe it was his group. Ming, yeah. And I don't really know what the story is. What the story you kill Locust. But you also play you play some bits as Ram where you can actually use like his thing with the krill and kill like soldiers and things of that nature. Well, actually, if it's playing with 4 players, they can play as these other locusts, like I think a brute, and the guy with the what's the guy that swing the malice thing, whatever, and the shield.
That's the Mauler, right?
Mauler, I believe it's a Mauler. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Well, no. You right.
Yeah,
I mean, you're right or wrong.
Has
I don't
like
know.
the big gun, right?
Gun, right?
Then you
yeah.
pick up the thing that's called the Mauler.
We're gonna call him a shield Mauler.
There you
go. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was nice. I mean, it was a nice little addition to the game. Like it wasn't great, but it was Gears, so it was just more Gears, so it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that is it for 10 years ago. Now we go back 20 years. We got a few games here. We got Dark Rift for the N64 came out. You remember this game, Daniel? I remember this box from.
I was gonna say I remember to see it. Dark Rift.
This was at Blockbuster. I think I see there's a whole lot of Blockbuster.
Oh yeah, yep, definitely. That's where I saw it. I don't think I ever tried it.
Yeah, I never tried it. It was always available because I think that's why I never tried it, because it's like, it probably sucks.
Yeah.
And that's why nobody wanted to try it. Because they had a lot of copies. I think they had a lot of copies of this, because I used to see it. It's like, oh, I don't know what this is, though. But it's a 3D fighting game. It got a horrible review. I mean, it got 57% on game rankings. But yeah, I'm seeing 5s and 24 out of 40, so basically that's almost like a 5.
This Game Pro 4 out of 5 stars is a little questionable.
Oh yeah, they got paid off. Because everybody else Hyper gave it. I don't even know what Hyper is, so they gave it a 71%. Most of the guys gave it a low score. Well, Nintendo Power, that's actually a good score.
Yeah,
3.72. I don't know what's going on there.
It was on the Nintendo 64, Dominic. That's a given. They very rarely weren't bought off.
Yeah. Universal Studios Theme Park Adventure came out, but you play as a guy, I guess, what's the story? I don't know what the story is, but you're at the theme park and
I was going to say, I think you're kids and you run around and play the
you get on the rides and like it's games. This kind of reminds me of the old Magic Kingdom game on Nintendo. This is just like a 3D version of that game, just for Universal Studios.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any story behind it, though. I'm trying to see, on Wikipedia doesn't tell me that. But it got bad reviews. It got Metacritic got 39 out of 100. That is not good.
No.
All right. So what else we got here? We got Wizardry Tale of the Forsaken Land. This is not Wizardry Waverly Place, because I don't think it was out yet at this time.
I don't think so.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, I don't know if it's out. I
don't think Selena Gomez or whichever one that is was born yet.
She was born. I think she was born. But maybe she was like 5 or something. But let me see what. I've never seen this game before. It's an Atlas game. I ain't never heard of this game before. It got 70 out of 100 on Metacritic. It got all right, but GameSpot gave it an 8.5. But EGM gave it a 5 out of 10. Famitsu gave it a 32 out of 40, so that's good. Game Informer gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Not that great. But I think it's 7.2. It's pretty meddling. But yeah, it's just a JRPG. What else I got here? I got KO the Kangaroo for the Game Boy Advance. You ever play this game, Daniel?
I don't think so.
The kangaroo with the boxing glove.
Actually, maybe I did, especially the Game Boy one, because I've talked about it in the past. But like emulation, I played a lot of those games, and I remember, didn't he also? He had like a full 3D platformer type thing on the other consoles, right?
I mean, I remember seeing a kangaroo with some boxing gloves, but that seems to be like the go-to for kangaroos,
right?
I mean, you gotta have them get boxing gloves.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're getting washed by dudes trying to protect their dogs or whatever out in Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I feel like I probably played a little bit of this just because I was like, I was wondering what those games were about. And now there's one on the Game Boy Advance that I can pirate real quick, and it was probably like a fine, like licensed-esque 2D platforming thing.
Okay. And the other game that came out, J Cocoon 2, which is the RPG, similar to like a Pokemon kind of game, came out on PlayStation 2. I played this game. I actually played it and I beat it. I don't remember. I mean, this has been years. This is like 20 years ago. So probably a little less than 20 years, really. Probably 19 years ago when I played it. Because I borrowed it from a friend at school.
Mm-hmm.
And it was okay. It was an okay game. It looked good at the time. I liked the graphics. It had full voiceovers. I don't know if it's voiceovers in the whole game, but enough that it was impressive, because for back then, just hearing people talk was great.
Yeah.
It was excellent in JRPGs. And it's like I said, similar to Pokemon. It's supposed to take place 100 years after the original one, which I never did play. But here's the story. The time of the Nagi people and Cocoon Masters has passed. New Cocoon Masters are now cited as beast hunters and are the prominent force of monster raising, with the player playing one named Kau, who visits the Temple of Camille in the hopes of becoming a beast hunter and having adventures like the old Cocoon Masters he idolized. So it's just this is a Pokemon thing. I don't know. Maybe you have to save the world too. I don't know. But yeah, it got okay reviews. Because I think I saw Game Informer get it. Yeah, they gave it 8.25. I think because that's what I was reading, and I'd say, and then somebody had it. I say, I'll try this game out, and it was all right. I enjoyed it at the time. I thought it was pretty good. It got 76 out of 100 on Metacritic. All right, so what else we got here? That is it. So take a quick break, and when we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
Let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dad?
All right, Dominic, we got 5 more games that Nintendo is adding to their online Switch expansion pass situation for the Sega Genesis. We got Altered Beast, Toe Jam and Earl, Dynamite Heady, Swords of Vermilion, and Thunder Force Dose #2. How many of those games are you familiar with, Dominic?
Altered Beast, Toe Jam and Earl, Dynamite Heady. I have to see the covers of these 2.
Swords of Vermilion, I've definitely heard of. Dynamite Heady, I don't know if I'm familiar with.
Have you seen the cover with the head popping out?
I'm
the guy with the head.
Definitely looking at it now. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yep. I was about to say, I see that cover. I mean, I see him always signing in magazines, advertising.
I was gonna say, I feel like we talked about him as part of like one of the covers or something not that long ago.
Yeah. Sword of Vermilion, I have no idea. This is an RPG. I don't know many RPGs on the Genesis.
Yeah.
Only one I know is Phantasy Star, and I still don't. Honestly, I don't know what that looks like on the Genesis. I know what it looks like on the Master System though.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that commercial, but the Genesis, I never associate that with RPGs. I always kept thinking like, man, Super Nintendo is the one that has RPGs, and I guess the Genesis don't do them.
Yeah.
I never knew why. And they do have some, but I don't know any good ones up there.
Yeah. Well, here's one, Sword of Vermilion and Phantasy Star. There you go. It's enough.
It says 97 people who liked it on Google users.
Oh, there you go.
Well, Thunder Force 2. I gotta look at this cover too. But you know what? Altered Beast. That's cool. I know my friend gonna be playing it because he has this service. And you know what? I want to know if he gets me on the family plan. Can I play it?
That's a wonder. I wonder. Can you even do like family plan after the fact?
I mean, no. You would have to just probably pay for it.
Because like,
I think he does. I think that's what he paid for.
Right.
So I want to know if I can get on there because that's what he was asking. Because he said like just for me to try him out. But I said I don't know. But anyway, like, because what game he was playing? He was playing Streets of Rage, and he was just saying how wonderful it is just to save anywhere.
Right.
That's what I like about these games. So yes, because I said Thunder Force. I'm not familiar with this, but this looks like a bullet hell shooter type of thing. But yeah, like Alter Beast, because I only got to the 3rd level, always died. Oh man, it'd be so wonderful to play through that game. And plus play some Dynamite Heady too. I don't know if I think I played Dynamite Heady as an emulator, but I never played it originally, even though I always saw it.
Yeah.
All right, so what else we got here? Oh, well, Toe Jam and Earl, yeah, that's awesome too. To play through that game. I used to love that game. I mean, like I said, because I was young, and I was like, hey, these are black aliens, so that's cool. That's why I just
little did you know they were just appropriating culture, Dominic.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't understand that at the time.
Have we talked about it in the past? Is that a Japanese-made game, or is that's an American-made game, right?
Toe Jam and Earl?
Yeah.
I think we looked it up before, and I think it was.
Yeah. So it's just white people. It's not Japanese people stealing your culture. It's just white people, like usual.
Nah, they would have had them make like some big lips.
Oh yeah, Mr. Popo style. Yep.
Like yeah. Earl would have had some giant lips.
Oh, yikes. All right, Dominic. And some other news.
And a fro.
What's that?
And a fro.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's yeah. All right. And some other news, Dominic. PlayStation 5, Sony is coming out with some, you know how the side panels come off of that system, the two white panels on either side? They're going to be selling different color versions of those. So if you want to customize your console, make it red or blue, it's kind of a tealish, like a pastel kind of blue, or a purple, pink, or a black, if you want to get that stealth look that a lot of people were saying they were looking for. You can get those. The
black one, does it look like the kind of black PlayStation look, or what?
What do you mean?
You know the ones people were showing initially? That's kind of like all black PS5s. I mean, I think that was a custom thing, but people say, "Oh, that looks cool," like black and like a dark black, kind of like a PS2 kind of look.
Oh, you mean like more of a matte black instead of a shininess? Yeah, they're matte black. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I'm glad they're doing that, especially since those covers are so easily removable. They're also coming out with matching controllers. You know, they already have the black and the red ones out there, but they're coming out with the purple and the blue and the pink to match that as well. But the pricing on this seems insane to me. They're $55 for just those panels. And
it's worth it.
I know that's comparable. The brand, the company D Brand, who make a lot of like phone skins, you might see a lot of their advertisements.
Oh yeah, that
on,
black
like,
one
YouTube
does look
videos.
good. Yeah, okay. That's what I always wanted. I always wanted to. I wish I just had it made it that way.
Yeah, they had panels come out. They were called, I think, the dark panels or something like that, and they actually got a cease and desist from Sony originally after selling their first batch. They're now coming out with new ones that don't have, they actually follow the curvature of the PlayStation. So at the top where it's kind of rounded, they're also rounded instead of staying square. And the pricing on those are comparable, but that just feels like something that at most you could sell for like $20. Like that seems extremely excessive. Like, why am I buying a console for $400 and then also spending $50 to get
because it makes it powerful.
Pieces? I guess. Yeah. Okay. Well, the new dark plates from D Brand at least have like a hole where the fan is, so they're like alleging that your thermals will be better or whatever. But I don't know how I feel about that either. I think I've heard some podcasts talk about how you can go on like AliExpress and get these kind of things for far cheaper, which I would probably recommend for something that's just a piece of plastic. Like, yeah, you aren't going to get ripped off too bad, you know, from a Chinese knockoff of something like that, I feel like. So, yeah,
$55. Yeah, that is a lot. See, it just makes me not care.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I definitely like the look of the black ones. The red ones are kind of cool too, but it's, $55 is way too much.
I guess it's Miles Morales one that's for $40.
Oh, do they have like a fancy looking spider emblem looking thing on there?
No, well, it's actually him. Oh, like, it's
weird.
It looks like from Spider-Man Into the Verse.
Oh, cool.
Kind of custom thing. I saw on GameStop. I just look at covers and
interesting. Yeah, that'd be cool.
These are some custom ones. I mean, they look okay. I mean, but it's cheaper. I mean, at least it's.
I wonder what the quality of those things are. They're probably like some form of printed on or something. Yeah, that would be weird about those.
And actually, I want to know if it's just a sticker. What is this?
That's what I'm thinking. It probably is kind of like a vinyl sticker that you stick on there or something. All right, Dominic. In some other news, we got Ernie Hudson out here running his mouth, saying that there's a. Hold on a second.
Yeah, get some water.
Unfortunately, I left my water in the other room, but yeah, just clear that out a little bit. All right, Dominic. We got Ernie Hudson out here running his mouth. Apparently there is a new Ghostbusters game in development that they have tapped him to do voice work and basically review the look of his model on. What do you think, Dominic? I have an inkling that maybe this would end up just being a phone game and we'd all be disappointed.
I was about to say that.
Okay.
That's why I'm not getting too excited about it, because it's like, oh yeah, they're doing a game and then it's like a phone game. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know that they'd be willing to put in the resources to do another.
It's a Fortnite character.
You know what, Dominic? That would not surprise. The only reason that would surprise me is because Afterlife already came out, and I feel like that would have been a thing they released around the same time as that. Although,
you know what? Yeah, what's the reviews for that movie? I think
they were okay.
But yeah, but it was bad. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Oh, interception! Oh, you sons of bitches! God damn it, Giants!
Yeah, so I know how much you love that other game, the one that came out years ago. It would be cool to see them make another one like that, but I just don't have the faith that they would. And you saying Fortnite skin, like, that honestly would not surprise me if he, this guy's like, oh yeah, they're making a new game. Little does he understand like what Fortnite is, or, I did appreciate the fact that he said like, oh yeah, they nailed everybody else's look, but they kept sending me the model and it kept looking like Eddie Murphy. It's like, oh, that poor man. They can't get him in digital version very well, I guess.
It's hard to do black people. Yeah, all right. So
apparently.
But you know what? I'm looking at here. Marvel's Guardian. I'm sorry, this is off topic. It's only $30 now.
Is it?
Half price? That? Or for the wait a minute, the PlayStation 5 version wasn't $70? Because it says $59.99 went down to $30 on GameStop.
Oh.
I thought the games were $70.
It's so weird. Like it really depends on the publisher, and I don't know if. Well, that would be would that be Square Enix?
Yeah. Yeah,
so I'd honestly actually be surprised that wasn't $70. Maybe because there's a current gen. No, I feel like they would still charge. I don't know. Everything's so weird now, Dominic. I don't know what pricing is for anything. It has a thing down here too.
If you already own the PS4 version of the game, you can get the PS5 digital version at no extra cost.
Okay. So if they're doing that, I can see why they wouldn't make it 70. Yeah, I was actually looking at that game because Epic's doing their sale again right now, like their holiday sale, where they also give you the $10 off coupon, and right now it's $38.99, I think. So with the $10, it would be $28.99. And like,
dude, Epic got it where you can give the game back, like without their
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Because, like, I just want to know, like, can it even run?
Can it run? Yeah.
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 Because I tried to do Cyberpunk because I was so desperate for cheats, and you know what? It is so great when I was just in the tutorial section, and I was like, oh man, this is running great. It's okay. Maybe the updates helped it. When I got to that city, man, oh my god, everything started chugging. I didn't even see cars. Cars just popped up out of nowhere, and it's like, oh shit, that thing was chugging. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, Epic does have a refund policy. It's eligible within 14 days of purchase, and you must have played less than 2 hours.
Okay.
That's not too bad. So yeah.
And that's what the normal kind of way is for most things, right? Most of these games.
That's what it feels like, yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of tempted by that game just because of how much good, talk has been around it.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, like, I saw something about people being upset about the pricing. I think we mentioned it last week. Was it Final Fantasy for the PC?
Mm-hmm.
And I see a lot of people excuse. Like I said, I don't know how old these people are. So like, if you're young, you're stupid, and I understand because you haven't been on this earth that long. But if you're not young, I can't. Like I said, I don't know who you are. Then people saying like, well, it's $70 on the PlayStation, so I don't know why you think it should be cheaper on the PC. And I'm thinking like, I think people are mad at the $70 on PlayStation too, right?
Yes.
Because that's what I felt like. I was like, no shit. I don't like it. And that's what most people who do respond to them. It's like, I don't like that either. Yeah, it's like, what the hell? I think the whole point is that. And then the whole point is that this is an older game. Mm-hmm. Like, we're getting it later than the PlayStation. This is an older game. So why do we have to pay $70 for it?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I don't think it should be $70 on the PlayStation. honestly, I don't know why it wasn't even released on PlayStation 4. We already talked about that. That was stupid. That they released the DLC for that. That is just dumb. I mean, that's just you block it, like holding it off because it can run. It ain't like you did like, because we put a whole lot of power into the DLC and it cannot possibly run on PS4. Bullshit. Yeah. Now they got their own problems with this game too, apparently. Like with just not having options to to get the higher resolution, like locked is it locked frame rate, I think it is, or something.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of performance issues that people have been talking about, poorly optimized. Yeah,
I know they get options that other games have. Like even I think they say Kingdom Hearts 3 even has, and they don't have no option. Those type of options. It looks very limited. It seems like something maybe they patch it in or something, but it's just that you're paying $70 for a game and you can't even fully optimize it as you want it to for your system. That it's a little ridiculous. And I mean, it's just like Square Enix is just, they had that problem. They've been having that problem with some games like coming to PC. So it seemed like you would think they would be better at it now, but I don't know. I guess not.
Well, that's what I was reading on Reddit is, basically people were complaining about it. And like you and I were talking about, it's been for a long time, including stuff like Nier and games like that. But the Tomb Raider stuff came out and was really good. But apparently that's because it was made by Nixies or was helped by Nixies. And that's that port studio that Sony picked up a little bit ago.
Yeah.
So sounds like
Sony just picked up another studio.
Did they?
Yeah. What do I see it at?
Valkyrie Entertainment.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. What they do?
I have no idea. I'm looking them up now. I just saw them on, there's a wiki page of, I don't know. Sony acquires God of War, Halo Infinite, and Valorant support studio. So I guess they had helped with those guys.
Yeah, they did. That's what it was. I'm trying to think where I saw that at. But yeah, you seen like Sony's picking up these, they're not like huge names, but they've done things like these
more
other
like technical studios.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's definitely interesting. Support studios, they can probably, I don't know about probably, and I feel like it's been discussed elsewhere, but I think part of that idea is that you get your creative studios to make like a God of War, and then you can kind of, when they're getting tired of working on a God of War game, you can turn that over to one of these more support studios and have them continue the franchise while you have your creative studios work on a new IP or, something else.
Yeah, if it works that way, then that's cool.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention I played Gunk.
That was on Game Pass. How is that?
Yeah. I guess, you know what? Because you played Slime Rancher.
Mm.
I wonder if it's like something like that, like a game that's really just comfortable and like just laid back.
Okay.
That's what it felt like when I was playing it.
Like, that's not a bad, like, you saying Slime Rancher makes me kind of go like, oh, that's not what I want it to be, but describing it as like comfortable or relaxed, I don't feel is a negative. I'm interested to see what that is because
it's not bad. I mean, it's just that so far it's not. I mean, it's not super. I haven't done anything super challenging, and it seems, like I said, it seems very laid back type of thing. Maybe it gets somewhere later on in the game. I mean, I played. Not gonna say a good chunk, but I mean, I went pretty far.
Gotcha.
I mean, I want to say far, but I played a lot of the beginning. I mean, I played a lot of the beginning.
Is there any sort of like combat in there or anything, or is it just you going around sucking stuff up?
Yes, I think you can suck up an enemy and shoot it back at another enemy. Like you can, I think you suck up some stuff and you shoot it at the enemy. That's what I did. That's the only combat I got down so far.
Gotcha.
I haven't. Maybe it's something else later on, but it's like you just get up the gunk and then vegetation comes to life because like everything looks dead. Maybe the gunk makes everything looks dead, and then you suck it up, and then vegetation comes to life, and things open up for you. and you're talking to your partner. Now, I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're sisters or friends or lovers. But I don't know. But yeah, you play as this female and this woman or girl. I don't know how old they are. I'm gonna say woman. This woman and this other woman who's always in your ear with the radio, like your ship. And they're like your salvagers, probably something like that. But yeah, it seems all right. I mean, I see a 7 on Game Informer here, and it kind of feels like that so far for me. A 7 type of game.
Yeah. I mean, it's on Game Pass, so I wouldn't have any regrets playing that. Especially, don't even have.
They said you get a flashback of Luigi's Mansion. Somebody said I flashback to these mansions and other features.
That's maybe not a positive thing for me. All right. Yeah, definitely have to give that a chance. All right, Dominic. Next up, we got Turtle Rock, the studio behind Evolve and Back 4 Blood, as of more recent memory, has been acquired by Tencent. So the Chinese super company is gobbling up some more game studios, Dominic.
Now, people are upset about this, at least from the comments I read. And like, especially the comments that deals with like how, cause this big company and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck? All these companies, unless it's an indie studio, are a humongous company. I don't know what the, I mean, you can be upset about that, but it's like, I mean, unless you just don't like no big companies, which is fine, but it's just like, whatever, man. It's like that's what I mean, Turtle Rock was published by I forgot what other company. Like, what was the Evolve? Who was behind Evolve?
Was that EA?
I feel like that was. I want to say EA, but then I now know.
2K.
2K. Yeah, 2K. I mean, come on, man. And I heard some people talking about like communist China, and I'm like, even with that, I'm like, dude.
I think that's like a lot of people's issues with like companies like Tencent, because I think Tencent is like, I don't want to say majority. I don't know. Is a portion of it is state owned, so it's basically being funded by the government. So then they extrapolate that and say, this company's funded by the government, coming in, buying U.S. companies or foreign companies, in some cases, European companies, to exert power or whatever so that they can, basically undermine us without having to actually have a war. That's the direction a lot of these people are going.
It's just, for me, I'm like, this is way out. I can't control any of this. It's like whatever. I don't really have nothing to say. It's like, to me, it's just a big company that bought it out.
Another big company buying smaller company, which in a lot of cases, like, I think that's good that they're getting some more financial support than they previously would have had, so they can continue making games. But obviously, at the same time, that can come with some downsides.
Yeah.
I think
at the end of the day, you're trying to make money.
Yeah. And for the most part, I will say it feels like Tencent has been one of those companies that hasn't really exerted a lot of creative.
That's what I was about to say. I never heard anything. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from the company, because when I saw that all the companies under it, that's like, I haven't heard anything like they've done anything to make things worse.
Yeah.
I feel like if anything bad happened, it's not because of Tencent. It's just because of just what happened with the studio and whatever.
I'm sure there's some level of like, you can't say bad things about China or something in your games, but other than that,
but I think a lot of those games don't want to do it. Even the ones who are not owned by the Chinese.
Exactly. We're not political. We don't want to be political. This game is not political. Exactly. Also terrorists.
Yeah.
Also, you're murdering terrorists.
Yeah, anything Asian terrorists is like North Korea.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't necessarily look at this as a bad thing, but we'll see how it turns out. One of the things I do see as
be better, Bob. Facebook. What Facebook boredom? Would that be better?
Honestly, in my opinion, that might be worse.
Yeah. I mean, I would think so too.
Yeah, just Facebook. That's a whole other thing.
Be part of Meta.
Yep. under the Meta umbrella. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people complain lately about Meta and the Oculus and stuff because it sounds like they're dropping support for a lot of the older Oculus stuff.
Oh.
You know, like the Rev 1 and stuff like that.
Well, look, man, y'all were the beta testers, man.
I mean, that's kind of, that's technology. That's the way it's always been.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, technology is like that. I mean, that's just,
it's hard
like
to blame them specifically for it. So, yeah, I mean, especially as we get, we're at the Oculus Quest 2 right now, and we're only moving further along. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another new headset sometime soon. So, yeah. All right, Dominic, in some other news, it finally happened, and kind of happened with a whimper and not a bang. Ubisoft announced the Splinter Cell remake.
Yeah, it really did happen with a whimper.
It was just like, hey guys, we're on Twitter and we're looking for people to hire because we're doing this thing.
Darn. I mean, I guess it was no trailer or nothing, right? So I guess they couldn't do a games show, the games awards kind of thing.
Just have Michael Ironside come up on stage and be like, yo, we're working on a new Splinter Cell.
I mean, shit. I mean, you know what? I would have did that.
I don't know if he's involved or not, but
well, not him, but yeah, it would be no, it would be whatchamacallit. It would be the guy from 24.
I was gonna say, who played the third echelon guy? What'd you say?
Keith Sutherland.
Oh, okay.
That's on that. Keith Sutherland. That's his name. That's his name, right? Keith Sutherland. Is it Keith Sutherland?
Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know that I want a remake of Splinter Cell. I want something new from Splinter Cell. Although I say that not having wanted what new they have provided me over the last couple of games, because that story definitely went in a direction that kind of left me behind, and I like the idea of more of a covert stealth operator, sneaking into these places and especially shooting out lights and stuff. Like the technology that we have nowadays, if they can do some HDR and some RTX and some ray tracing stuff with all that lighting, that could be a showcase piece, especially on like the PC, where you can just go absolutely ape shit with some new graphics cards or something like that. But I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about Ubisoft right now, especially with the next bit of news that we have coming up as well. But
I mean, did they have like an HD version of this?
Did they do like I know they did the trilogy, but I don't know, was that like an HD on Xbox 360
unless
trilogy?
I saw something like that was done by mods or something, because I saw something that looked really good. Because I watched like a whole video.
Honestly, I bet those games don't look that bad, because a lot of the focus on them was like the lighting and stuff. So I could see those games holding up relatively well outside of like what I would imagine the actual models being a little rough,
Yeah.
Yeah, the latest release was the PS3 HD trilogy of that original game, at least. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I'd have to see what they're going to do with that game. So, but yeah, in some other news, Dominic, and now I had forgotten to put this on last week's with all the game award news, but I'm glad we're giving it a little more time to like breathe, and also just more time that we can maybe discuss this. And it's appropriate for what we talked about earlier with South Park. Ubisoft is getting into the NFT game, Dominic. They're calling it Ubisoft Quartz, and the actual NFT itself will be called a Digit. And so far, they are implementing it as a beta thing in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, a game that a lot of people didn't really care about when it launched, and will probably care even less about now that they're going in this direction with it. Basically, what they're showing off so far are cosmetics, which, okay, that's what you would expect out of Ubisoft selling some stuff. And basically, I guess where the NFT portion of it comes in is each of these items are going to be serialized and like, I don't know about very prominently, but very prominently that number will be displayed on the item. So like they have a helmet that they show off, and on the forehead, it has a nice little, you know, serial number across of it. Like, oh, I am the only person to own owl-shaped helmet 153367. It's just so absurd, Dominic.
Yeah, like I said, when we would joke about NFTs with the South Park, this is so out there. Like I feel like how probably my mom felt with anything on the internet. So like it's just so I can't comprehend it. That is, it's so, the comprehension of it is just so out there for me that I just don't care. Like I was like, yep, do what the hell you want, because I'm not gonna be part of it. Like I'm not gonna be part of this shit. So
until
whatever.
Every game is an NFT, Dominic.
Well, by the time that happens, Daniel, I'll probably be dead or homeless or something because of not having any fucking money or anything.
You won't have any money because you didn't know what an NFT was, and
yeah, exactly.
People who don't know what NFTs are just
inflation
can't
be so much out there that I can't afford anything. I ain't worried about damn NFT. I can't even get no physical food or something. So I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, there's a dystopian future where I'm thinking about this, and like as much as like a GameStop pushes pre-ordering games, even nowadays when games are abundantly available, like I could see a company going, well, we're only going to make this many copies of this game available at launch as an NFT. And if you don't pre-order, you're not going to be able to buy it until we remint some new NFT versions of Splinter Cell 2024 or whatever it's going to be called. Because the only upside I see, and I don't think I'm seeing anybody from at least the company side saying this, to NFTizing a video game or video game item is your ability to then resell that item. Like if you gave me the ability to go, okay, I bought Zelda as a digital thing, but I know I'm never going to play it again, and I would like to sell it for a couple of bucks, you know, like you would with a physical version, taking it to a GameStop, allowing you to do that. And then the quote unquote nice thing would be that then you would also have the original company making money off of that, because, you know, that's with resold games, Nintendo is not seeing a chunk of that again. It's all GameStop getting whatever profit there is. And theoretically, if you're supporting the quote unquote artists, you know, creating the original work, in reality, you know, probably most of that money would go to whatever corporate business people at that company. But let's say trickle down economics, blah, 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 it gets down to the artists or whatever. Like I could see the positives to that. And I think that's where that's where some of the NFT craze is coming from, with like the digital art stuff, where it's like, oh, now digital artists can create this NFT, and instead of people just sharing their work, they actually have to pay to share their work or whatever. So I can see that being a thing that could come out of this. But again, I'm not seeing any publishers talking about that as being a use for why they would have NFTs. It's always about, you know, basically what amounts to bullshit cosmetics or some kind of image tangentially related to a video game. And I don't know if I'm here for all that, Dominic. Also, I've heard other podcasts talk about like, why do you need NFTs? Why do you need to tie this to the blockchain with its myriad of issues, you know, globally and power consumption wise and everything? And I will say, Ubisoft has been out there very prominently saying these are low energy NFTs, and you know, we'll see if that actually means anything or if that's just a way they're trying to skirt the issue. But you already have launchers and systems and backends in place. You have Uplay to do this, which they've basically been doing, is like, oh, if you own this thing, then, you know, we as a company know that you own this thing, so we can also bring it over into this. You can dress up as Ezio in Splinter Cell, or you can dress up as Sam Fisher in Assassin's Creed. Like, why do you have to tie this to the blockchain? Why can't you just lock things down through your own proprietary systems? Not that I know that that's any better, but they haven't really utilized it in the way that a lot of people are saying, you know, you would use a blockchain thing. I don't know. NFTs are complicated, but also very simple if you look at them as, yeah, they're basically a scam, because it's just getting people to assign a value to a thing that doesn't necessarily have a value. Or in a lot of ways, we've talked about it, like ever since the issues with digital music and people pirating that stuff, is, yes, in a way it's theft, but it's not the same as me going to a store and stealing a CD. Because if I'm going to a store and stealing a CD, that's a CD that they can no longer sell. That's a CD that someone else can no longer buy. Whereas if you're downloading an MP3, there are an unlimited number of that MP3 available. You know, it's not stealing something tangible. And now if you're, let's say, making an MP3 into an NFT, then, you know, basically like that Wu-Tang album, then it is becoming tangible by you assigning a value to it, or a luminosity. I don't even, what is the word I'm looking for there? A limit to that thing.
Yeah.
You know, again, much in the same way, like Wu-Tang is like, hey, we made this one album. Now you can absolutely defeat the purpose of that by someone ripping it, turning it into an MP3 and dispersing it around the world. But, you know, seemingly in the contract, you can't do that. So it really goes back to the conversation we had previously, like how much of all of this is just tied to people wanting things that are exclusively their own and not allowing other people to have them. And
that's what it is, right?
In my head, like, I don't fucking care. Like, I want everybody to have Splinter Cell. I want everybody to have the mask that looks like an owl, if that's what they want, you know?
I mean, I think that's what it is. I think that's what...
I think scarcity is the word I was looking for, not luminosity.
Yeah, because you want to say, hey, I have something, you don't, you feel better. I think that's like almost like human nature for most. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's how I felt when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. Like, I used to love having things, and I'd be jealous of people who did have things I didn't have. Yeah.
And I hate them. I would hate them. But that's what, we would do that. We would brag about something. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I got this, and you don't. But thing is, adults do too. I mean, I think that's,
oh yeah,
you do. If people have like, I have this thing and you don't, yeah, I'm better than you.
It's like you said, it's human nature. And in a lot of ways, you know, you can kind of grow away from that mentality. And there are still some like urges where it's like, oh man, they got that thing. I want that thing. I can't afford that thing.
That's about the urge I have. I mostly have urge of something like I want something.
Yeah. But
never that if I have it, I don't want you to have it.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
I don't, yeah. I never got to that point. But maybe I'm just because I've never been a bracket. Maybe it's like a bracket or something in society that you do feel that. Yeah. Like when the rich be going against each other. Like the people going to space race. Like, I don't want that guy. I went farther. Yeah, fuck him. And I don't want them to go farther than me. And I'll say I'm going to go to fucking Mars before this dude.
There's probably a level of like ambition that is tied to that, right? Where it's yeah. I want to be doing the thing that no other person is doing, whether that's having this video game or this item in a video game, or
at least because you want to either first and say I'm the guy who had it. See, by the time you got it, it's not as good. It wasn't as good. I have
serialized Master Sword number 1. Yeah. Your Link can have a Master Sword 2, but it will not be like my Link.
I had it when it was cool. You got it when it was not that cool.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to find out, Dominic. I think sooner rather than later how these game companies are going to start start implementing this stuff. There was also some stuff about Stalker 2. They were going to do a thing with NFTs and tying it into a meta thing. And I saw all those words and my eyes glazed over. So I just stopped reading because I was like, I can't. And apparently they've kind of reversed course on that due to the blowback. So I don't know. I can't imagine that Ubisoft is going to get too much blowback on this initial announcement. I mean, they've obviously gotten some, but considering that they're implementing it in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, I don't think you're going to get like a huge community of people who are playing that game going, oh my God, they're ruining our game. You know, if this was like Fortnite all of a sudden and Epic was like, we're going to introduce NFTs, which that can't be that far away, right, Dominic?
Yeah, no.
I mean, maybe they're smart enough and they're like, hey, we're going to wait until the player base starts to go down and then we can just piss off that small amount of people instead of, you know, everyone in the world that's currently playing Fortnite. You know, it would be silly to shoot themselves in the foot right now, basically, is what I'm saying, because they're making money hand over fist. They got fucking Peter Parker and MJ they got Zendaya in Fortnite shooting a gun.
I know, they got Zendaya.
I can't even. I don't know. It's so funny, because like every time I think about that game, I'm like, oh, cool, they got another character. And then like the one step removed that I always forget about is like, oh yeah, that's a game where you run around with a gun. It's like, oh, we got Superman in there now. That's cool. That's a cool looking skin. Oh wait, you're going to be Superman running around with a gun.
With the gun. Yes.
Just so silly.
It should. I wish they could make it so that you just shooting your laser eyes.
Yeah.
Instead of a gun. But there's different type of guns. But they should make the lasers like that too. Like, hey, this laser.
You got your blue laser. You got your yellow laser.
You got your sniper laser or something. Like
I wonder how much that is like the meta where it's like, oh, if I'm playing against someone, if he's just shooting lasers out of his eyes, I can't tell what gun he's holding or something like that, right? Like, I don't.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I guess you just imagine that you're not really Superman. You're just a guy who's wearing a Superman costume and you have the build like him.
I guess. It's just John Hamm playing Superman.
Yeah, because you can't fly, right?
I don't think so, yeah. I mean, that's the thing with like Spider-Man. They did add web shooting in there now, so.
Yeah, so web shooting? So what do you mean? You can
swinging.
So you can web swing as Spider-Man, but isn't that a disadvantage?
They've added it for everybody.
Oh,
it's just a new a mechanic in the game is like swinging around.
All right, so everybody's got it.
Yeah, because that's what I didn't understand at first either, because they were showing off Spider-Man swinging around in the thing, and then I read like a couple of days later that was just a mechanic.
I'm watching the Steelers game now, because I told you I was going to stop watching the Cowboy game when they score. So I stopped.
Who are the Steelers playing?
They're playing the Titans.
Okay.
The Titans. The Steelers picked up a fumble.
Gotcha.
Titans are winning 10-0 though.
Okay,
that's good for Baltimore.
Yeah. All right, Dominic. So yeah, that's Ubisoft dipping its toe into the NFT game. What do you think, Dominic? Anything else there?
Just that I don't like it, and I hope it fails miserably.
There you go.
For them,
as we just look like old men yelling at clouds.
Yep, that's I'm exactly
some them. TikToker listening to us. Like, oh my God, these guys are old. They don't know what they're talking about. It's the greatest thing that could ever happen. All right, Dominic, did you see any other news for the week?
Did I see any other news, Daniel? I think that's it. 'Cause I think I said this thing I thought about.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh, what about the new Horizon Forbidden West trailer?
Ooh, is there a new trailer?
Yeah, apparently there is. I didn't watch it.
Saw the stuff at the Game Awards, but I didn't know there's
but this happened on the 17th.
Okay, very cool.
But they have screenshots of the PS4 version.
Oh,
but then they put a video of the PS5 version trailer. So I'm like, we only get screenshots. It's like that's the thing. It's like, oh, screenshots look nice, but it's still. And some people thinking like, oh, it's not going to run well. I'm not thinking like it's better. I mean, I ain't gonna say it should run like the PS5, but
yeah.
At least
that original game ran fine.
Yes, it should run like the original game. If it runs worse than the original game, that's horrible. Like, it should run like the original game, at the very least. And I don't think that's asking for too much.
No.
Because that's just, see, this is assuming that they built this game for the PS5 and then they trying to make it fit on the PS4, which I don't think.
Yeah,
that's
I was going to say, I think
is.
we all know the reality of that's unlikely. Yeah.
I don't think it's a situation. People can compare to Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk's situation is different. I don't think
Cyberpunk is a whole mess of its own fucking creation.
Yeah.
I think Cyberpunk just got out of control. Like they built that game initially for like the PS4 and the Xbox One, and then got in a little over their head and were like, you know what? These new consoles are coming out. That'll solve the problem. We just need brute power to play this game, not considering how bad those other versions would be. And then once those other versions came out and people started to call them out on that shit, they were like, oh, because that's what we've heard this entire time, right? Is like, it runs fine on the PS5 and the Xbox One. Yeah. It's really just the old version.
And it's not even that version.
Get carried away.
We don't have that version yet.
Yeah.
Right? The PS5 and Xbox Series X version is not even out yet.
Nope. Coming out next year sometime.
So is the game going to be cheaper by then, or are they going to re-release it like it's a new...
Oh, that's going to be a $70 game, down. I mean, I'm willing to say it's a $70 game if they have some sort of DLC.
I think the Xbox version is going to be free upgrade, though.
That's true. Yeah, never mind. They're going to have to stick with 60. And I don't think if they do it 60 on the Xbox, they're going to do it 60 or 70 on the PlayStation. So
yeah.
And they can also be like, oh, look, we're consumer friendly because, $60. But also, like, it's a 2-year-old game at this point. Well, 1.5-year-old game.
All right. So I guess that's it then.
All right. We'll get into new releases here real quick, Dominic. We got
some new releases?
What's that?
Say we got new releases?
Oh, yeah, we got new releases. Well, new releases of old games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some of them. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. That is out on the PC. We mentioned that earlier.
The best version. That's the best version.
Not the best version. Don't listen to Dominic. Apparently not. Poor performance. Just that's disappointing because that game already looked incredible, and
it's hard.
As you can imagine,
hard to move.
I'm sure it's hard to make video games, Dominic, but still, maybe don't release it until your hard work is over and you're done with it.
You don't tell them what to do.
I won't. Also won't buy it. So there. All right. Also out now is Chicory, A Colorful Tale. That is out on the Nintendo Switch. That had previously come out on other systems, PC.
Chicory!
Yeah. That looks pretty good. I'm kind of interested in that one, especially right now on the Epic Store because it's $19.99. Wait a minute, hold up.
Is that the colorful? That's the color book one?
Yeah, it's the color book one.
Yes.
It's supposed to be like Zelda based. And yeah.
I kind of want to play this too. God damn, it's too many games. And I just gave up on our time machine.
That's another one.
Because it's the chip shortage. The chip shortage fucked me over.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, all you need now, Dominic, is aluminum foil and then whatever else they used in South Park. And a lot of cannabis.
Foil? Is that sold out too?
I don't know. But I'm storing it up in my house. So don't steal my house. Don't steal my house. Don't steal my aluminum foil.
I'm trying to think. It was something that was like, I was looking up just to buy it. I was like, man, I cannot have a hard time finding it. I forgot what it was.
Really?
So I think I probably just gave up. And now I forgot what it was.
All right, Dominic. We also got Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach on the PC, PS5, and PS4.
Oh, yeah. That's the one that was advertised during one of these, some event?
Yeah, I believe so. This is like the more 3D one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So now
how are people liking it?
Let's see. Steam. We can check out what they're saying. Where is Metacritic?
I mean, it's not like the other ones were great, but I wonder how people like it, who like the other ones.
Yeah. Currently has a 5.8 on Metacritic and a mostly positive score on Steam. So I think if you're a fan of it, you might be more interested.
Is that a 5.8 out of... I thought Metacritic went by like percentages.
It's the user
Oh, okay.
score. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, because it does not have a score yet.
Oh, yeah, because a
from the
lot of people
critics.
didn't review it yet. They're on vacation, Daniel.
Yep, I was gonna say. I mean, most of the big sites are pretty much getting to. Well, right now they're probably working on their Game of the Year stuff, so they're probably not focusing on game reviews and stuff. And then, next week they'll definitely be winding down. You probably won't see a lot of news and whatnot come out.
You know what? What was the site I said that they were doing a game of years later? I thought it was Game Informer, but it seems like they stopped and said, "No, what? It didn't work out for us. People didn't care about then. Now we're going to do it."
Yeah, because I'm already seeing. I forget what site
This is
I
Game
saw.
Informer's top 10 games of 2021.
Oh wow!
Here are the must-play titles we couldn't get enough of this year. Well, it says that top 10, but it doesn't really say Game of the Year.
I was gonna say that feels more like not quite a Game of the Year thing.
But it's weird to do that now. It's just.
I mean, they've got top 10 Game Boy games, top 10 Marvel games of all time. So it seems like they're leaning into the end of the year.
Wow, they got Halo Infinite as number 1 up here.
Really?
Deathloop's number 2. Resident Evil's number 3. Returnal's number 4. Metroid Dread is number 5. Life is Strange True Colors is number 6, which I really need to get into, but I need to get to the other ones too. But they're doing the other ones in HD, so I might as well wait for those. 7 is Forza Horizon 5. Wow, Xbox games have not been up here in years. I know that. It Takes Two is 8. Inscription. I totally forgot about this game. It's number 9. And that came out October 19th. Yeah. Maybe because I heard about it before. And I just, okay. And
there's been a lot of talk of it recently.
Yeah. Psychonauts is number 10.
Okay. That's a game I definitely have to revisit by the end of the year.
So what game did it leave off? They left off Being a Dick. And I mean, technically Being a Dick didn't come out till last year, but they should have episode whatever I played 8.
I was gonna say, but it's had an episode released this year, so
yeah, they best out Sisterly Lust. I think that came out this year. I don't even know. What else did it leave out? I'm trying to think of a game I played this year that I liked that came out this year. I don't know. I think I played them. I think these are the ones I played.
Pretty much.
What did I play earlier this year? I think I was playing old games, probably.
I was going to say all games from the previous year because we were getting caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forspoken. Yeah, that's what What the fuck?
What about Forspoken?
Come on, man. People need that game needs to get more respect. And did that got nominated, right? In the Game Awards, like for a category?
What game?
Forspoken.
What is that?
I'm not Forspoken.
That was
no.
Okay.
I said Forspoken. I'm sorry. I mean, what's the game I played? I thought what's the game I played that one they go behind, like I go back in time.
Oh, the
Forsaken?
Forgotten City.
Forgotten City. Oh, that was F. It was an F. It was a 4 in it. A Forgotten. I forgot what the hell is Forspoken. Where did I get that
Forspoken's
from?
the new one that's coming out on the PS5.
Ah, yes, that game.
Unreal one. Yeah.
But yeah, Forgotten City. Yeah, did that get nominated for anything at Game Awards?
I feel like it got nominated for something, but I can't remember what it was.
That game, and not in your top 10. It should be your top 20. I know that's going to be in my top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the 10 I played. So.
Yes, it got best indie debut. It was in that category.
Okay. But who got that game though? Who won that game? Who won?
Let's see. Best indie debut.
It was the Kena, right? Kena won that.
Yeah,
one.
Kena. Bridge of Spirits.
Ah, man. If Kena had come out, this should have won. Man, this should have won anyway. God damn it. I think this should have beat Kena.
Oh, that's a pretty good category though, because they also have the Artful
all the
Escape
categories
and
this
Sable's
year,
pretty
except
good.
for, I'm sorry, but all the categories this year were pretty good, except for, I mean, I can't judge the like esports stuff. I don't know, but those other categories, this is probably the best year. Like I actually was like, oh, this is pretty good. I actually can see some of these games winning, and they deservedly should be up there.
Yeah, like even looking back at the best action adventure category, I'm glad Metroid Dread won because I love Metroid Dread, but also like Psychonauts, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil Village, and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Like that's a tight category right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's rough. All right, Dominic, one more new release, The Gunk, which you also mentioned earlier. I would like to get around to playing that. So,
yeah, simple game.
Yeah.
Simple game, I guess. I still have never played Luigi's Mansion. So I can't judge it for that. But I think I played like 10 seconds of Blinks the Cat recently because it's on Game Pass. And it was, and I didn't like the controls, so I just turned it down.
Yeah.
Actually, I just wanted to see what it looked like. And I was like, damn, this game looked really good. But I remember seeing screen like videos of it back in the day, like I think at GameStop or something. But man, it doesn't look as good. I mean, it's not horrible, but it just like, damn.
Yeah.
This game was pretty good looking a while ago.
It had that early CGI energy to it back in the day.
Yeah. Now I was like, man, nah. The controls weren't bad, actually, when I was playing it. I mean, it was not great, but it wasn't that, this is a deep pass. No flag. Don't throw a flag. That was good. That was a good play. Yeah. But I wish they would do like a remake or something to that game.
Give it a full, fresh coat of paint.
All right, so I guess that's it.
That's it. You got anything else for the week, Dominic?
No, but happy holidays, because we might not have a podcast next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this might be the well, not the last, but might be the last. I mean, who knows? I mean, because all depends what I do with
Dominic. It might be the last podcast.
Of the year.
It will be the last podcast of the year, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, it will, no matter what.
Yeah,
because we might be going to do one. Yeah.
Oh my God,
That's
we're
right,
at the end. We're at the end of 2021, Dominic.
This is the last podcast. Yes, we are in 2022.
Oh my God,
we are still at the early stages of the post-COVID years. Yeah, oh man, never going to end, people. Things have changed, and we're never going back. We're never going back.
Welcome to the new normal.
Yep.
Where years just don't exist anymore, and next thing you know, you blink and it's the next year.
But movie theaters are back, seem like. Because Spider-Man made a ton of money.
Yeah, it did. Spider-Man, I want to see it.
Yeah. I'm guessing the reviews were good on this. I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, honestly, I haven't looked at a lot of them. I've been trying to keep as far away from it to avoid spoilers and stuff, but Brooks saw it last night and said it was very good. So,
okay.
I'm excited for it. But yeah. All right. We'll wrap this puppy up then, Dominic. Thank you guys as always for listening. Another year, another podcast. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStallworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. Has all of our previous podcasts as well as links to places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as the usual podcast venues, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, all those places. Until next time, guys, and next year, I guess. We'll talk to you later.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and other Happy Kwanzaa. Hanukkah already happened, so I hope you all had a nice Hanukkah.
Yeah.
And see ya.